What's up, party people? Uh, I just posted a video about the botched Houston raids. Uh, a couple of clips about it. I have a follow-up video coming soon. What I wanted to talk about right now was the Epstein case because one of the things that I noticed is how, as much as the left and right don't agree, and they still really don't agree on who's responsible or who's to blame. Like the left is saying that Trump's people had something to do with it. The right is saying Clinton's people had something to do with it. And honestly, I don't know because Epstein had a lot of connections. And I heard he had connections with Israel, he had connections with Britain. So there's no telling everybody who was involved. Like in those court papers, a lot of big names came out. So there's no telling who in his circle would pay any amount of money to keep that information from coming out. So to be honest with you, I really have no even speculation of who might be responsible. But that's just the crazy thing I see, that even though the left and right don't agree on who's responsible, but they both know that there's some bullshit that went down as far as Epstein. It was some bullshit. And well, just to recap a little bit. Okay, first, he tries to commit suicide. Okay, so then he gets put on suicide watch. Now, from what I hear, I don't know if it's 4 days or 6 days, but within a week, he gets taken off suicide watch. And I don't know how suicide watch goes, but I don't know if once you're taken off suicide watch, you receive the same things that you tried to commit suicide with in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, because I know usually they'll take your blankets and your shoelaces, anything you could use to harm yourself. But I don't know if once you're taken off suicide watch, they give you all that stuff right back, especially after you just tried to kill yourself a week ago. But anyway, they take him off suicide watch. He had a cellmate who, from what I hear, is an ex-cop that apparently was trying to bury 4 cartel members in his backyard. And this cop is huge too. This dude he looked like the Hulk. But anyway, that was his cellmate. But for some reason, his cellmate mysteriously gets transferred. Now, one of the things I would look at is who put in that transfer. Like, why was his cellmate transferred at that time? Like, who put that order in? Like, nobody raised a question about this. He was just taken off suicide watch. So nobody questioned why his cellmate is automatically getting transferred? Anyway, his cellmate ends up getting transferred. And then the documents from the first case end up coming out with some more detailed information about everybody that was allegedly involved and some of the people he was connected with, like the British Prime Minister and who else? And some other people. That comes out. But then all of a sudden, the guards who apparently been working too much overtime lie and falsify documents saying that they did their rounds and they really didn't. Now, they said that they was working or one of them was working their 5th day of overtime. Both of them was working overtime, but one of them was working their 5th day of overtime. And understandable. You might be tired, but what you're trying to say is that these 2 correction officers, these 2 COs, was too tired to walk and look. That's all their rounds consisted of, just walking and looking. But you're trying to say that these two officers were too tired. It wasn't like they were loading trucks. It wasn't like they was stacking concrete bricks. It wasn't like they was stacking tires. It wasn't like they was crunching 5 years of expense reports. You're trying to say, well, they were too tired to walk and look on somebody this high profile. Like me, I don't like it. Like it was common sense that I thought it would have happened a long time ago. I figured somebody's gonna knock this dude off a long time ago, because, like I said, they still don't know everybody that's connected. But I'm quite sure some of those people in his circles are well connected and well paid enough to have something done to him. So I would think that he would be on some type of witness protection, because it's only a matter of time. But they just had him at the Metropolitan Correction Center, and then before the suicide, he was in general population. They had him in general population. It's like they was baiting him. Like they was just waiting for somebody to come and take this dude out. But allegedly, he did it himself. So anyway, moving on. The COs are too tired to do their rounds. So couple of hours go by. Apparently, like I said, they gave him the same stuff that I guess he tried to hang himself with the first time. And then all the video around his vicinity automatically either malfunctions or disappears. And the thing that gets me is the blatancy. That's the thing. Like I said, I'm not surprised, because I think the same thing happened to the Maxwell girl too. It's one of three things that happened to that Maxwell girl. Either one, she's running like hell because she knows it's a matter of time. About the Maxwell girl. One of three things happened to that Maxwell girl. Either one, she's running like hell because she knows it's only a matter of time before they get to her. Two, one of her high profile connected friends is stashing her somewhere, trying to keep her safe. Or three, they already got to her and you're not going to see or hear from her again. That's what I'm thinking. It's one of those three, because she's as high profile as I'm pretty sure everything Epstein knows, she know. So just because Epstein just is out of the picture, as long as she's still alive, that Maxwell girl is still their connection. So it's only a matter of time. Because now they're saying that she mysteriously disappeared. Don't nobody know where she went. So, like I said, either one, somebody's hiding her out. Two, she took off and she's hiding out. Or three, she's already gone. So, we'll see what happens. But, and it's so blatant. Like they keep trying to say that there's not a two-tier justice system. They keep trying to, for the longest, they keep saying, justice is not biased. The courts are not biased. Nobody's above the law. Everything about this case proves, number one, the courts are biased. Number two, there are people above the law. If you got the right money or you got the right connections, you could be above the law. So it's funny to me how nobody's arguing that now. They're just trying to look for somebody to blame. But that's the thing. It's so blatant and in your face. Like, they say, I think I read there's a 8% of people on suicide watch actually commit suicide. Now, granted, if somebody really wants to go, you can't stop them from going. But everything that's surrounding this, like I said, the videotape gone, all of a sudden COs are too tired to do their rounds. The cellmates gets mysteriously transferred at that time. And the same day or within 24 hours of that, the rest of that information dropping from them court papers. Nah, that's too much coincidence. Too much coincidence. So pretty much I'm thinking they probably can track the money, but they ain't gonna track it to where it originated from. They, like, if anything, the COs might get in trouble. Maybe the warden might get in trouble, and whoever authorized that transfer might get in trouble. But the real person that gave that order or put that money down to have Epstein go, you ain't gonna see or hear about that. I highly doubt that. If anything, it'll be somebody set up as a scapegoat. But there's a two-tier justice system. There's corruption. That's just what it is. You could deny it. You could try to be blind to it, but that's just what it is. Money and power leads to corruption, period. What you gonna do? And like I said, it's just the blatancy and the fact that you're going to sit up there and try to tell me that those COs were too tired to walk and do their rounds, and all they got to do is just take a walk and look. And then why is everybody, like, they keep talking about the economy is booming. The economy is booming. Unemployment is at the lowest it's ever been. Okay, why is everybody working so much overtime? Amber Geiger, oh, well, she was working overtime. These two COs, oh, well, they was working so much overtime. If the economy is so booming, why is everybody working so much overtime? And then a lot of them get on these mainstream media, and on one side of their mouth, they talk about, oh, the economy is the best it's ever been. But then on the other side of their mouth, when they want to stick up for the coal miners and the farmers, oh, people are living check to check. They don't have $400 for a medical emergency. Oh, they're struggling right now. Which is it? Is the economy booming? Or are people struggling right? Well, nah, I know which it is. People are struggling right now. The economy ain't booming. The economy is booming for the rich people. Money's coming in. Money's flowing in for them. But for the middle class and lower, the economy is not booming. Because from what I see and from what I've been hearing, a lot of companies are downsizing. Like if you ran into this or you know somebody experienced this, let me know in the comments. Companies downsize. A position gets open, they don't fill that position. They give that 40-hour-a-week position to somebody else. They consolidate those two positions. So now that one person has to do them two jobs, and they're not getting compensated for that. They're not getting paid two salaries for that. But now it's their responsibility to do their job and the job that this person was doing. They ain't hiring nobody to fill those positions. And everywhere I look, that's what I'm seeing. When a position is open, they don't hire anybody to fill that position. They just consolidate it or give it to somebody else next to them, or a lot of times not even next to them. They could be in a whole different department, and they just give them that responsibility. They're like, well, that's your job now. No compensation, no raise, no bonus. Nah, that's your job now. So, yeah, the top 1% to 3%, the economy's booming for them. The economy ain't booming for nobody else. And how long do you think you could keep spitting that bullshit? Like, we're the ones dealing with it. We're the ones going through it. We'll know. We'll be the first ones to know if the economy is booming. But they keep spilling that same shit. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy to me. Oh, the economy's booming. But yeah, all this stuff is happening because people are working so much overtime. Ain't like they working overtime for their second house. Ain't like they working overtime for that second island vacation. They're working overtime just to pay bills. I don't know. But not to get off the subject, back to Epstein. Yeah, that was just some of the things that kind of stood out to me about that. Like I said, the officers are too tired to work or walk. The videotape mysteriously disappeared. The Maxwell girl mysteriously disappeared. The cellmate mysteriously got transferred. And they keep saying, well, just look for anybody getting a bump in pay or anybody getting a sudden increase in their bank account. Like, they're being blatant with it, but I don't think they'll be that stupid. Like, if anything, it would be cash. Like, nobody's depositing nothing. It would be cash. Because cash, as long as, like I said, as long as you don't deposit it or somebody just do some outrageous spending, how you gonna track that? If they just got the cash and stashed it somewhere, how you gonna track that? So I'm really not seeing the Epstein thing go too much further. If anything, you might get a couple of people, but for those that are truly, really in power and really have money and are connected to it, they're gonna pay and burn up all the favors and connections they can to keep that shit as quiet as possible. And if that means they gotta stop an investigation or put the word out, don't touch this guy, don't talk to this guy. Like the same way Acosta, they said, like Acosta tried to say that, well, he wanted to go after Epstein, but he was told that Epstein was intelligence. So because he was intelligence, they told him to leave it alone. You think the same thing ain't gonna happen? This is just something else they're just smacking us in the face with. Well, that's it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these videos. I always say I try to keep these videos short, and it never happens. But like I said, I'm going to do a follow-up on that botched Houston raid. And it was something else I was going to talk about, man. I ain't even going to, before I start rambling. That's it for now. If I think of something else, I'll definitely let y'all know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. How far do you think it's going to go? Or do you think that's it? Do you think that Maxwell girl will ever turn up? Do you really think anybody will really see any justice? Because from what I heard, he had connections with Israel. The Prime Minister, British Prime Minister, was named in court documents. So there's no telling how far his Epstein's connections went, or who all might have been involved. So I'm really not seeing a lot of people being brought to justice, especially since I think Epstein Island, his house was the flag of Israel, or it's on Israel property or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm rambling again. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. One.